Good morning, pumpkins. So, before we start our class, can I call someone to lead the prayer? Okay, thank you. May I know who is absent today? None? Very good, class. So, before we move to the next topic, there will be an activity called Picture This. So all we have to do is guess what the picture is all about. So class, are you ready? Okay, let's proceed. In the first picture, who would like to answer? Yes, Miss Bermudez. Excellent, Miss Bermudez. The correct answer is black people. Okay, the next one, who would like to answer? Yes, Miss Montefalco. You are correct. The right answer is a warrior. And the last one. Okay, so does anyone from the class know the answer? Yes, Miss Pablo. Very good. The correct answer is tribe. So well done. So before we jump to our next topic, can I ask someone to recall our previous lesson? Yes, Miss Delphine. Correct. So our last topic is all about the elements of the story. And can someone in the class enumerate the elements of the story? Yes, Mrs. Poso. Okay, you did very well, Miss Delphine and Mrs. Poso. Okay, so let me ask you, does anyone know what will be our next topic is all about? Yes, Mr. Aldres. Alright, so our next topic would be Africa by David Diop. Okay, so so se- let me read the objectives of this lesson. So at the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to identify the theme of the poem, acknowledge the author's purpose, create their reflection paper. Okay, so class, allow me to show you the literary work of David Diop, which is entitled Africa. So I want you to read it together in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so let us know about this summary of this literary work. So, in this poem, the author addresses Africa as a human being as he calls out to the nation's past, present, and future. The author was born to French West African parents, and this poem contains that its sense of bonding and emotion that David had felt his entire life towards the African soil. The history of Africa flows through his blood, even though he had been born in France and lived most of his life there. The land remained close to his identity and his being. The torture inflicted upon his ancestors by the colonizer is described through the haunting imagery of slavery. Despite the presence of brutal realities, there is hope. Yes, there is hope at the end of the poem. like a light that the speaker sees at the end of a dark tunnel. With the metaphor of a young tree, he expresses a belief that Africa will grow again and taste the glory of bittersweet freedom. He believes that the colonizers will give up one day, and the colonized will rise to gain independence and finally establish themselves as culturally conscious, confident citizens of a free nation. So, next one. Okay, next one is the themes of the poem. So, this literary work features a number of themes that include nationalism, cultural heritage, history of Africa, and colonization and suffering. The overall poem orbits around the theme of patriotism, the poet's or David unshakable devotion for his motherland, which is the Africa. So, lastly, the author's purpose. Oh, wait, sorry. The author's purpose in writing this poem. Okay, he emphasizes the strength and resilience of Africans, challenging colonial narratives that depicted them as inferior. The poem also explores the theme of cultural pride and the longing for freedom and self-determination. Through imagery and powerful language, David evokes a sense of unity among Africans. Next one. So, in the next slide, you will have an activity. So, in a whole sheet of paper, you will create a concept map about the characteristics of the African people. I will give you 10 minutes to 15, I think. Are you done, class? Okay. You might you may submit your activity. Sorry. Okay. So, now. Okay, now let me ask you, what do you think is the moral lesson of the poem? Yes, Miss Season. Okay, you are correct. One of the moral lessons of this poem is about freedom. Okay, what else? Miss Ibayan. Well done, Miss Ibayan. So, another moral lesson is about the cultural heritage. Okay, so next slide. Oh yes. Here, as you let me show you some related poems that related to the Africa by David Diop. Next, you will have another activity. Okay, in a one wall pad paper. You can submit it to me tomorrow. Okay, so next. And lastly, I will give you an assignment which you will create a reflection essay about the poem entitled Africa by David Diop. So that's all. Pumpkins, have a great day.